This video describes installing the Heat Demon kit with the temperature controller mounted on the left side. Be sure to consult the instructions if installing a kit with controller mounted on the right side, or on models by throttle-by-wire, as certain installation steps are slightly different for those applications. Begin the installation by disconnecting the battery, negative cable first. Place a mark on the handlebars inside the clutch and brake perch assemblies to mark the position and rotation of both. Next, remove both assemblies. Remove the left grip and clean any remaining residue from the surface of the handlebar. Using the mark previously placed on the handlebar, drill a hole in the groove or recess on the bottom of the handlebar below the mark and about 1/2 inch toward the end of the handlebar. Start with a small bit, like a 3/32 to make the initial hole. Then use progressively larger drills or a step drill to increase the hole size to 5/16. After the hole is filled, use a round file or deburring tool to remove any sharp edges. If possible, blow any metal filings out of the handlebar. Start by taking a small flat blade screwdriver to carefully install the supplied rubber grommet into the hole that was drilled into the handlebar. Uncoil the plastic snake from the kit. With the end of the snake that does not have a hole, run it from the right end of the handlebar out the left end. Attach the white and yellow wires from the right grip heater element to the hole in the plastic snake and pull them through the bar so that they exit the left end. Push the right heater element into the handlebar by squeezing it together and sliding it fully inside of the bar. Push the 4 wires from the controller through the hole in the grommet so they extend out the left end of the handlebar. Let the controller hang down 1 inch from the handlebar. Feed the red and black non-striped wires from the end of the 6-foot power cable through the hole in the grommet so they extend 4 inches out the left end of the handlebar. Let the rest of the cable hang. The wire connections are done near the left end of the handlebar. Hold the left grip heater element near the end of the bar so these wires can be connected to the other wires that extend out the end of the bar. Use the small connectors with 2 holes to connect the 2 green wires. Push the wires into the holes of the connector so they extend as far as possible into the connector. With the wires pushed to the end, use pliers to push the yellow cap down completely flat. This will pierce the insulation and make the connection. Some moisture-resistant grease will come out of the connector. This is to be expected. It indicates that you have a good electrical connection. Wipe off the grease and pull on the wires to make sure they are connected. Repeat this with the 2 red wires. Next, use the connectors with 3 small holes to connect the 3 white, 3 yellow, and 3 black wires. It is very important at this point to re-examine all 5 of these connectors. If the yellow and red caps are not locked in a full down or flat position, the grip heaters will not function properly. While holding the controller against the handlebar in the approximate installed position, gently pull each of the 4 controller wires to remove any slack outside the handlebar. Fold the wires and connectors inside of the left heater element and gently push it into the end of the handlebar by squeezing together and sliding it along with the wires until completely inside. Connect the red and black wires of the power cable to the battery temporarily to confirm the proper operation. Press the button on the controller multiple times until all 4 LEDs are on. Leave the power on for 5 minutes or more to confirm good wire connections and that the heaters are working properly. Each end of the handlebar should get to approximately 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Using the epoxy adhesive, install the left grip, making sure the power cable and the upper switch housing harness will not be pinched under the handlebar when the switch housing screws are tightened. Attach the controller to the clutch perch. Start the screws, but do not tighten completely. It is important to tighten the screws equally on each side so the gap is the same between the housing and the lever assembly. Run the power cable along the wire harness conduit to the yoke area. Add wire ties where needed. The power wires should be connected to an accessory circuit. Connect the red wire to an accessory wire, which is an orange wire with a white stripe. On older bikes, it can be the white wire. Connect the black wire to a good ground location with the ring terminal or to another black wire with the other red splice connector. On most baggers, the connection to the accessory circuit can be done behind the headlight. There are usually unused capped accessory and ground wires taped to the wiring harness running to the headlight. Reconnect the battery cables, connecting the positive battery cable first. Turn on the ignition to the accessory position. Retest the system for full functionality. Your Heat Demon grip warmers are now installed and ready to use.